So yes, today we're gonna talk about the process of building a luxury house in Los Angeles, to which you may be like, okay, cool, so like, what are your qualifications? Absolutely zero. And that's why I've brought along this man.
I'm Jason Pye, I'm a Los Angeles contractor and developer, and if you stick around to the end of this video, I'm gonna tell you how much it costs to build this house, this kitchen, and this pool.
And we're gonna cover this process in 4 steps: financing, identifying the land, construction, and of course, the funnest part of all, costs. Now, the assumption here is for someone buying a house, knocking it down and building like a brand new little castle because, well, Instagram. So step number 1, financing. Now keep in mind, unless you have all the cash on hand, this process can potentially include having to get up to 3 different loans. Jason, question.
Yes, you in the glasses.
Thank you. So why do we need so many loans?
You have to keep in mind that if you get a conventional loan to buy the initial property, you're going to start destroying it, which is going to basically break the contract and the agreement that you have with your lender. So at that point, you're technically on the hook, right? They can demand a full payment of the loan. Yeah. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to get a construction loan, or what some people call a bridge loan. That loan is going to cover the original loan, and it's going to help you cover the cost of construction. Now, the thing about construction loans and bridge loans is they are very expensive. High interest rates, big closing costs. They're not a conventional loan. So you need a conventional loan to take over all of that debt once you're done with your project, so that way you can sustainably afford to keep it long term.
So yes, from beginning to end, from the point that you buy the tear down house to the point that you move into like your Instagram house, you could have potentially gone through 3 different loans. So yes, talk to several lenders and make sure you qualify for potentially all 3 of these loans. And what you definitely want to avoid is buying like a $2 million house, knocking it down with the idea of building like this 4,000 square foot fortress, and then realizing you can't get any more money. But even worse, your wife saying, I told you. So yes, talk to several lenders and make sure you qualify for financing. And as a very general rule of thumb, if you plan on buying a $2 million property to build like a $4 million house, you kind of need to qualify for a $4 million purchase with like 25% equity. So if you barely qualify for like a $2 million purchase, it's safe to say, peace of mind, just get something that you don't have to tear down. And step number 2, identifying the land. I mean, surely in America, the land of the free, once you buy a piece of land, you're like free to do whatever you want with it. I mean, right?
You can't do whatever you want with the land. You're subject to government and local building codes.
Okay, so maybe you can't do whatever you want, which begs the question, like, how can I know what I can build? Option number 1, make an appointment with the Department of City Planning and pretty much just be like, hey, so like, what can I build on this land? But this can sometimes be like a little time consuming, and it's kind of like representing yourself in court. Option number 2, for a very rough idea, take a look at new construction in the same neighborhood with the same zoning, same lot size, and dimensions as the subject property, and this can sometimes serve as a rough gauge as to what's possible. For example, if the neighbor just built a brand new house and has the same zoning, same lot size, and dimensions, that can serve as a pretty good idea as to what's possible. And option 3, and by the way, my name is Daniel RANGEL, real estate agent in Los Angeles. If I can be of any help, it would be an honor. And for a free consultation on buying or selling, you can find my information in the description below. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit like or subscribe. And option 3, consult with a contractor or architect before you start putting offers to get an idea of what type of lots to look for if you already know what you want to build. And you can pretty much approach them and be like, hey, yo, so I'm looking to buy a property and build a new one. What's your consultation fee if I have any questions? during this process. And at minimum, I recommend getting someone once you get an offer accepted during your inspection period to walk the property and give you an idea of what's possible and how much it would cost. And what you're trying to avoid here is like spending like $2 million on a piece of land only to find out that your Instagram house doesn't fit and your wife just left you. So now the question is like, who do you consult with, an architect or a contractor? Well, one, the architect can tell you what you can build on the land. The contractor can tell you how much it would cost. But generally, there's an overlap of knowledge between both of these people. For example, with Jason, I know his business includes a general contractor department and an architectural department, and his fee during escrow, to give you an idea of what's possible and how much it would cost, is about $450. To which you may be like, but that's cool, but I can just get like a free estimate from like Bob the Builder. No, don't do that. That free estimate is loaded with a big conflict of interest and a huge upsell. Pay the fee and get a neutral, unbiased opinion. Now, as a very general rule of thumb, in Los Angeles, you can build about 45% of the land. For example, on a 10,000 square foot lot, you can build a 4,500 square foot house, but this can vary depending on the zoning, from like 30% to like over 100%. For example, in Venice Beach, you'll typically find like these tiny lots, but with these massive houses. But yes, generally, the bigger the lot, the bigger the house. Question.
Yes, you again.
What about the shape of the lot or the slope or like irregular lots versus irregular lots or like hillside? Is that an issue?
Well, let me just say nothing's an issue.
Okay.
But obviously, flat rectangle lots are the most common, the easiest to build. You're not going to run into too many issues. But if you're going to start going into the irregular lots and the hillsides, you could run up against some things. Hillside, you're going to have a much more expensive foundation, and you might have soil issues. There's a lot of things that can come up that are unpredictable.
Okay.
But they do give you bonuses. So you are usually able to build more percentage based on the fact that it is hillside. So that's usually a cool, fun bonus why some people like to build on hillside. Irregular lots could be tough, but truthfully, I like them because it really allows for a lot more creativity. Like, you're not building the box anymore. You can build a triangle if you want to. Like, you can be more creative with the space that you're given.
And finally, on the topic of land, some other things to watch out for. One, deed restrictions that can have an effect on construction. Now, this would typically show up on the title report. So yes, read the title report carefully. 2, watch out for HOA restrictions. There's many areas in Los Angeles, like parts of Brentwood, Pacific Palisades, Westchester, that look like regular houses but actually belong to an HOA. 3, be aware of areas under coastal commission, which can add about a year or more to the building process. Also, make sure the neighborhood or house isn't historically preserved. And even if it's not like officially historically protected, do a Google search and make sure it doesn't have like any type of significance. For example, recently in Brentwood, a developer tried to knock down a house that was not like technically officially protected, but it turns out once upon a time it was owned by Marilyn Monroe. And when people found out, people freaked out, people protested, and demolition was halted. And step number 3, construction. And if we compare the home construction process to like building a model car, the architect is like the person who draws and writes the instructions. The city is the model car company that approves the instructions. The general contractor is the person who follows the instructions and like actually builds the car, and the designer is the person who paints the car and like puts like cool stickers on it. So if we follow a very simplified sequence, you would get the architect to draw the plans and they get the plans approved by the city. Now this process alone in the city of Los Angeles can take anywhere from 3 to 8 months and roughly cost around $100,000. Now once the permits are approved by the city, then enters the general general contractor and starts construction, which also includes working with the city on inspections and managing a crew of about 30 people. And this process, on average, can take about a year. And as for the designer, depending on the situation, they would be popping in and out, giving their aesthetic input at different stages of this whole process.
So yeah, in total, in the city of Los Angeles, you're typically going to be looking on average of about 1.5 to 2 years to build a single family home. That does include the 3 to 8 month drawing and putting the plans into the city for approval, and about a year of actual construction.
And finally, the moment we've all been waiting for: how much does it cost to build a luxury house in Los Angeles? And for that, let's meet Jason live on the scene. Just kidding, this is definitely not live. So here I am about to meet Jason Pai at one of his new developments, where he's gonna let us know how much it would cost you to build one of these houses.
Hey, Daniel.
Hey, what's up, Jason?
Hey.
We're doing this or what?
Yeah, come
let's
on
do
in.
it.
Come on, let's go. This is a 4,000 square foot house right here in Pacific Palisades. It's a 5-bedroom, 5.5 bath. And if you were to build it yourself, you'd be spending about $1.8 million. That's about $450 a square foot. Now, if you were gonna be pricing out this kitchen as if it were a remodel, let's say, you'd probably be looking at around $100,000 for this kitchen. And this pool, about $80,000 to $120,000 to build brand new.
On that note, a big thanks to Jason Pai for helping me put this content together. And if you're looking for a great contractor for your next project, check out Jason and his team, and I'll put his information, including his YouTube channel, in the description below. And by the way, my name is Daniel Rangel, real estate agent in Los Angeles. If I can be of any help, it would be an honor. And for a free consultation on buying or selling, you can find my information in the description below. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit like or subscribe. But either way, thanks a bunch for watching and have an awesome day. Also, for one option on a construction loan, check out Goldberg in the description below.